her critics that was, for whatever reason, more important to her than following her lawyer's advice and appearing to be a conservative. He described it as, I wanted her to look like a lady who worked for the IRS. Like, she was not going to look that way.
She was most famous for the welfare fraud stuff. But in your initial write-up in Slate, you write that she was implicated in this infamous child kidnapping.
Yeah, so I should say that there's a lot that we don't know. She was arrested for kidnapping in Chicago in 1967 in connection to a case where a little girl who was in her care that was given to her by the girl's mother, that she just took the child and wouldn't give the kid back. Mm-hmm. And then there were other cases where she would just show up with kids that hadn't belonged to her, that they would appear and disappear. And there were several documented cases and then others that I was told about where she was never arrested or charged, where she took other people's children. And you mentioned the 1964 kidnapping from a hospital in Chicago, which was a huge national story and remains unsolved. The kid's name is Paul Joseph Franzak. This was a kid who was a day old who was taken from his mother's arms in the maternity ward in this hospital by a woman dressed as a nurse. The woman left and was never seen again. The child was never seen again. Linda Taylor, at around that time, told people that she was a nurse. She dressed as a nurse. She lived in the area at the time. There were claims that someone using one of her aliases and fitting her description had been in or around the hospital at the time. A decade later, a man that she was living with said that he believed that she had done it, but there's nothing there that's solid and ironclad. But if I was investigating the case back in the 60s, I definitely would have wanted to talk to her.
Mm-hmm. But no one wanted to know. Mm-hmm. So there were the kidnappings, but there were also the mysterious deaths.
Yeah, so in 1975, Taylor was out on bond. She'd been arrested for welfare fraud in 74, and she had become known as the welfare queen in 74. She gets out on bail. She moves in with this woman named Patricia Parks, who lived on the south side of Chicago. This is a friend that she had met at church. And Patricia Parks was sick, and Taylor said that she could come in and help take care of her. And when she moved in, Parks started getting sicker and sicker. And then at a certain point, Patricia created a will that gave everything to Taylor. As all this is happening, she's getting sicker, and she dies in June of 1975, and she is found to have overdosed on barbiturates. This is extremely suspicious, and the person who had reported the death was Linda Taylor, her friend, who she had just signed her house over to. And it's investigated as a mental homicide. But eventually, the prosecutor, same guy who was prosecuting her